Hello everyone, we are back with another ranking video. I've really enjoyed making these videos and just getting to talk about the game, so I've got a few more videos like this planned. So if you enjoy this kind of content, you want to keep this game alive, or are new to the game, please be sure to like and subscribe and let me know what weapons are underrated in your opinion down in the comments below. Now, let's get started. Disclaimer, just like the last two videos, this is my opinion. These guns might be perfectly rated in your eyes, and that's okay. Also, a little less so than in previous videos, I am a hardcore Washington fan, and that bias may bleed through a little bit in my rankings. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into number 5. At number 5, I have the Ace. I've talked about the Ace a little bit in previous videos. This is one of the best pistols in the game in my opinion. The damage it does, despite being a pretty common civilian grade gun, is very impressive. I've been fully kitted and taken out with an Ace. I've taken out fully kitted players with an Ace. The reason it's only at number 5 is because I feel like the Ace probably makes a lot of players' lists, which starts to take away from the underratedness. At number 4, I have the Shadow Stalker. Okay, hold on, before you click off. When is the last time you have ever seen someone actually using a Shadow Stalker for PvP? This thing makes a great sniper rifle. It even has a little bit of splash damage with the explosion. It only holds one rail at a time, but how different is that than using a bolt-action rifle like the Timberwolf or Echo? The Shadow Stalker is pretty rare, and I believe the Mark I version only spawns on Washington, so you probably don't use it all too much unless you play a lot of Washington like myself. I really like the default scope on this thing, even if it's a little cartoonish compared to some other scopes. It's got a really nice zoom without having to add any additional attachments. On top of being a good sniper, it's also not too bad for raiding as long as you've got plenty of rails. Aside from what it's capable of, this thing is also just so cool to look at. At number 3, we have a tie between the crossbow and the bow. These two are not different enough to get their own separate entries, but I do slightly prefer the crossbow. If you have 3 or 4 arrows and even a makeshift scope, anything with some zoom on it, this thing is deadly. In my last PvP video, I got 2 arrow kills back to back. If you're using a regular sniper rifle, the gunshot gives away your location and the target can react if you don't one-shot. That is not the case with the crossbow. These guys are silent, obviously, and have pretty decent range. Their biggest downfall is arrows taking up so much inventory space. You need 2 slots for 1 arrow, whereas the Sabertooth can hold 20 shots in 2 slots. But arrows, and the actual weapons themselves, are really easy to find. They're pretty common spawns and zombie drops at camp and farm locations. At number 2, we have another tie between the Hawkhound and the Schofield. If I had to choose, I'm going to have to go with the Hawkhound based on it having 3 more shots per magazine, and its name sounds a little cooler, and it looks a little cooler. These guns are also common at farms and campgrounds and make for great sniper rifles as long as you have some sort of scope. They do really good damage and can hold more than 1 shot at a time, placing them just a hair higher than the bow and crossbow. I used to not even bother with these guns when I would find them, but after I got more comfortable with PvP, I feel a lot safer with one of these in my primary slot than I used to. My number 1 most underrated gun in Unturned has to be the sawed-off shotgun. This is based almost entirely on my raid defense video, which, if you haven't seen, you should totally go check out. That was the most fun I have had playing this game since I was a kid. This ranking might come as a shock to you if you watched my last ranking video since I ranked the master key so low. The difference here is the sawed-off fits into your secondary slot. This is huge for 2 reasons. Number 1, you don't have to dedicate your primary weapon slot to a shotgun, or a gun that only fits 2 rounds before you have to reload for that matter. Number 2, this means you can use it underwater. Most secondary guns in the game don't do a ton of damage, at least none that are as easily accessible as the sawed-off. Like, sure, the PDW is superior in almost every way, but the PDW is so rare. All you need to do to get a sawed-off is to find a campground or farm location, find 4 metal scraps to craft a saw, and then you need to find a master key. Craft your saw, craft your sawed-off, and you're set. No grinding in a military location for hours just to find your 14th ghillie hood. The sawed-off is not only super easy to get a hold of, but also extremely powerful. You can see it in my last PvP video. I am literally one-shotting fully kitted players underwater. The sawed-off is one of my favorite guns in Unturned. It didn't feel right placing it in my top 5 because of its low capacity and being outclassed by the Determinator, Blunt Force, and Devil's Bane, but I still feel that it is underappreciated. Well, I think that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you all so much for the support on the last few videos. It really means a lot, and it truly feels like we're slowly bringing people back towards this game. Help me grow this community again by interacting with this video and sharing the channel with your gamer friends. I still do want to make more guide videos, I just haven't had as much time to work on them as I would like, and I really want these videos to be good, so I'm going to take my time and put them out when they're ready. If you enjoy this type of content, check out these videos. I'll also have them linked in the description. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for helping me keep Unturned alive.